Welcome to Important Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you are new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an update. Exposing the game-changing power of Huawei's Kunpeng 920 in the face of U.S. sanctions. In 2019, as U.S. tech sanctions tightened, Huawei was under global scrutiny. Instead of faltering, it launched a powerful server processor, a bold statement of resilience. The Kunpeng 920 targeted data centers, aiming for self-sufficiency and less reliance on American tech. Named after a mythological bird, it symbolized ambition and breaking constraints. The world watched as Huawei reframed the global tech race. The Kunpeng 920 is a central processing unit, a CPU, but not for your laptop. It's a server processor powering the massive computers behind data centers. These centers run the internet, store our data, and keep cloud services alive. Servers need powerful, efficient chips to handle huge workloads. The Kunpeng 920 was built for this, aiming for high performance in cloud computing. What sets it apart? Its architecture. Most server CPUs use x86, dominated by Intel and AMD. Huawei chose ARM, known for power efficiency, usually found in smartphones. Huawei scaled ARM up, creating a chip with up to 64 cores for multitasking. Designed by HiSilicon, Huawei's own chip division, it showed in-house expertise. This wasn't a copy, it was a custom design after years of R&D. The chip was made using a 7-nanometer process, cutting edge at the time. Smaller transistors mean more power and efficiency in less space. In short, the Kunpeng 920 is a powerful custom brain for data centers. It uses efficient ARM architecture, not the industry standard x86. Built by Huawei's engineers with advanced manufacturing, it was a real innovation. This independence in design was Huawei's first big step in challenging the status quo. The chip proved Huawei could compete at the highest level. It was a milestone for China's tech ambitions. The Kunpeng 920 story can't be told without U.S. sanctions. For years, the U.S. viewed China's tech rise with suspicion, concerned about IP theft and military use. Huawei, China's tech giant, became a primary target. U.S. officials claimed Huawei's gear could be used for spying, a claim Huawei denied. In 2019, the U.S. put Huawei on the entity list, making it hard for American firms to sell to them. This was a huge blow. Huawei relied on U.S. components and software. The goal cut off Huawei's access to essential tech and cripple its global competitiveness. But this wasn't just about Huawei, it was about slowing China's Made in China 2025 plan. The US saw China's tech ambitions as a direct challenge. By targeting key companies, the US hoped to disrupt China's progress. The strategy controlled choke points like semiconductors, where the US led the world. Advanced chip design and manufacturing depend on a global supply chain the US dominated. Sanctions aimed to squeeze this choke point containing China's tech ambitions, but the move set the stage for a high-stakes confrontation. Huawei was caught in the middle, forced to innovate or perish. The world watched as the tech rivalry escalated. Sanctions were meant to cripple Huawei, but instead, they sparked a transformation. Huawei activated a survival plan, stockpiling components and investing billions in R&D. The goal: replace American tech with homegrown solutions. The Kunpeng 920 was a direct result of this strategy. Huawei's response was both defensive, finding workarounds and new suppliers, and offensive, accelerating innovation. The company poured resources into HiSilicon, its chip design arm. Engineers worked around the clock, driven by a sense of mission. The message was clear: survival depended on innovation. The pressure forged a more self-reliant company. With its smartphone business hit, Huawei pivoted to enterprise, cloud, and smart devices. The Kunpeng 920 powered Huawei's own cloud services, offering a non-US alternative. By building up enterprise and cloud, Huawei created new revenue streams less vulnerable to sanctions. This adaptability surprised many who predicted Huawei's demise. The company's resilience became a case study in crisis-driven innovation. The Kunpeng 920 was not just a product, it was proof of Huawei's determination. It marked a turning point in China's tech self-sufficiency. The world took notice. Huawei was down, but far from out. Creating the Kunpeng 920 revealed the complexity of US sanctions. HiSilicon, Huawei's chip arm, designed the chip using expertise and advanced software. Huawei had a permanent ARM license from the UK, allowing custom chip design. The design process relied on electronic design automation, EDA, software, mostly from US firms. Huawei had legal licenses for these tools before sanctions tightened. When sanctions hit, Huawei could still use existing software to finish the Kunpeng 920. Manufacturing was the next hurdle. Huawei couldn't make advanced chips itself. It needed a world-class foundry. Taiwan's TSMC was the global leader, and in early 2019, Huawei was still a major customer. TSMC manufactured the Kunpeng 920 before further US restrictions. This window, ARM license, EDA tools, and TSMC access made the chip possible. But in 2020, the US expanded sanctions, blocking foundries using US equipment from working with Huawei. This cut off Huawei from advanced manufacturing. The Kunpeng 920 was born in a brief window of opportunity. Afterward, making new high-end chips became much harder for Huawei. The chip's creation highlighted both China's progress and its vulnerabilities. The Kunpeng 920 was more than hardware, it was a catalyst. It proved a Chinese company could design a world-class processor, inspiring a national push for tech self-sufficiency. The Chinese government ramped up support, pouring billions into semiconductors. Huawei built the Kunpeng ecosystem, encouraging developers to port software and hardware to its platform. Development kits, training, and incentives helped build a complete, non-US computing stack. Universities and companies joined forces, creating a talent pipeline for future innovation. Government agencies and state-owned enterprises adopted Kunpeng-based servers, seeing domestic chips as a matter of national security. This Buy Chinese policy gave Huawei a stable market and testing ground. The ecosystem grew, even as Huawei faced global pressure. Education shifted, with new courses on ARM and CPU design. The Kunpeng 920 laid the foundation for a more independent Chinese tech industry. It was a turning point for China's semiconductor ambitions. The chip's impact will be felt for years to come. The Kunpeng 920 exposed a flaw in US sanctions. The US believed controlling key tech choke points would halt China's progress, but Huawei's chip proved a determined company could innovate around restrictions. Sanctions, meant to block China, instead fueled its drive for independence. The Kunpeng 920 was proof that investment in domestic tech could pay off. Instead of keeping China dependent, sanctions accelerated its quest for self-reliance. The chip also showed the limits of US control. Its architecture was British, manufacturing was Taiwanese. The global supply chain made total isolation difficult. US pressure on TSMC to stop working with Huawei highlighted these challenges. The Kunpeng 920 signaled the rise of a credible non-US tech ecosystem. If successful, it could split the global tech world in two. Countries may have to choose between US and China-led platforms. The chip marked the start of a new era in tech rivalry. The Kunpeng 920 is just one chapter in the US-China tech rivalry. The US has shifted from blocking chip sales to restricting access to manufacturing tools. Now the real battle is over the equipment needed to make advanced chips. China's manufacturing, led by SMIC, still lags behind TSMC and Samsung. Closing this gap is China's top priority, with massive government investment. The race is on. Can China build its own advanced foundries and equipment? The answer will shape the global tech landscape for decades. Will the world remain integrated or split into competing tech blocks? The stakes are enormous for both nations. The Kunpeng 920 remains a symbol of what's possible with focus and investment. For China, it's Rebitzer Bairi and Beer Bairi, and then it's Zairi and Dandra de Bipraupri for unbeaten self-sufficiency. For the US, Dairy Den Bearer, it's a warning. Containment can breed stronger rivals. The chip's legacy continues to shape the strategies of both superpowers. The Huawei Kunpeng 920 is more than a powerful processor. It's a pivotal moment in the US-China tech rivalry. The chip proved China could design world-class hardware, challenging US dominance. Sanctions, meant to cripple Huawei, instead fueled a national drive for self-sufficiency. Huawei built an ecosystem around the chip, creating a viable non-US platform. The Kunpeng 920 exposed weaknesses in US strategy and forced a shift to blocking manufacturing tools. Now the tech war is about who controls the means of production. The chip shattered assumptions of US dominance and sparked a new era of competition. It marked the moment China's response shifted from defense to offense. The Kunpeng 920's legacy, a global tech landscape forever changed.